Good day and welcome back to the 100 spin test where we test roulette strategies, so you don't have to. Today's contestant, number 120, is the Paroli strategy. It's a positive progression system that doubles your bet after a win, because what better time to get aggressive than when the casino is already letting you win? Ever wonder if these so-called guaranteed wins can withstand real-world distractions and the way our brains actually work? I guess that you're in the right place. Who else shows losing outcomes? The Paroli system is what you get when someone looks at martingale and says, let's do the opposite, but also still lose. Here's how it works. You start with a base bet, say 1 chip. When you win, you double it. Do that up to, let's say, 3 times in a row, then reset. But if you lose, back to square one. It's the strategy that tells you to ride the hot streaks, but pretend that the cold streaks don't exist. We're testing this on a European wheel. That's 37 numbers in total. With 18 winning numbers, there are 19 ways to lose, or more positively stated, a 49% chance to hit on any given spin. And thanks to that moldy green zero, the house still enjoys a tidy 2.7% edge. For scaling, and your sanity, I've kept the unit size at 1 simoleon. Any 1-to-1 bet will do, but I'll drop my chip on red. With a Paroli cap of 3 wins. Let's see what happens when the wheel doesn't care about our little 3-win fantasy. If you hit, you double your bet, and if it doesn't, you lose it. It's simple in its bankroll draining capacity. Let's see how many simoleons we give up after 100 spins. The worst case scenario? You lose every single spin. That's 100 down the drain. That would be incredibly rare. More realistically, your wins never link together. You reset constantly and bleed slowly. Unlike some other strategies, Paroli tends to fail politely. The roulette wheel is just one of several visual tools on this dashboard, included to track this strategy as it plays out. These visuals are here for transparency, so you can judge the data for yourself and follow the strategy's performance, good or bad. For full details on this test and past results, see the links in the description below.
Now let's speed things up and watch the progress. I'll be back at the end to summarize.
I am going to dispense with the formulaic analysis of the data because this strategy is streak-dependent rather than progression-dependent. You can see the numbers in the spin data link anyhow. I apologize in advance if it gets confusing. Scoring is dependent on streaks with 3 edge cases. A streak of a win or 2 wins followed by a loss is a push. 3 wins in a row is an increase of 7 units. The odds of that are 18 divided by 37 to the power of 3, or 11.5% for European tables and 18 divided by 38 to the power of 3, or 10.6% for American tables. Assuming a completely normal distribution of numbers, you should expect that you will get a winning streak of 11 times in 100 spins with a European wheel or 10 in 100 spins for an American wheel. Since we reset at 3 wins, I consider a streak of 4 wins to be a streak of 3 plus a streak of 1. You lose money on losing streaks of 2 or more. The loss is the length of the streak minus 1. The odds of a losing streak is the count of losing numbers divided by the count of all numbers on the wheel to the power of the length of the streak. So the odds of losing 2 in a row on a European table is 26.4%, 3 is 13.5%, 4 is 7% and 5 is 3.6%, and the odds of losing 2 in a row on an American table is 27.7%, 3 is 14.6%, 4 is 7.7% and 5 is 4%. You can do your own math for longer streaks. Numbers are fun. The edge cases are a loss on the first spin which would cost you a unit. A win on the last spin would net you 1 unit and wins on the last 2 spins would net you 3 units. A win on the last 3 would not be an edge case and so the player nets 7. Obviously it is in the player's interest to get the most number of winning streaks and fewest number of losing streaks. In our case we came out behind, which was entirely predictable. We had 4 winning streaks, which was below expectation. We had 3 losing streaks of 5 in a row, 5 of 3 and 5 of 2. As I tried to explain, Paroli is supposed to limit your losses and capitalize on streaks. In practice, it assumes streaks happen often enough to pay for all the resets. But the house edge doesn't care about your 3-step plan to victory. It just wants you to keep betting. Since most players get bored or greedy, that reset after 3 wins? It's more of a polite suggestion. Like most strategies, this one sells the illusion of control. It's not toxic like martingale, but it still assumes you can tame variance by waiting for luck. If you could do that, do you think that casinos would still exist? Let's look at our rankings. We find Paroli on red at 72nd out of 143 on raw winnings or losses, and 138th on percent increased or decreased. Full stats, including hit counts, averages, and streak data, are in the spin data link in the description. Casinos are profit-driven businesses. They're not here to make you rich. They're here to take what you're willing to give. So never accept gambling advice at face value. Test every strategy. Use whatever tools you have. Run it more than once. Look for cherry-picked data and winning stories that hide losses. Read the critiques. Understand the flaws. Stay skeptical. If someone discourages questions or deletes criticism, that's a red flag. You're not a hater for asking how or why something supposedly works. You're doing what they won't, thinking critically. Yes, some strategies will work, for a while. If they don't hold up over time, they're not systems. They're just luck in disguise. Know your risks. Know your limits and treat every piece of gambling advice, especially the confident ones, with caution.
Good luck until the next time.